don't think that he's good for you.
How do you know what's good for me?
That's my opinion!
Don't you get it? Why can't anybody have an opinion but you?
That I don't think that he's good.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to Sandra P's Gen Extra. It is great to see all of you this Friday morning. We made it, everybody. We made it to another Friday, another holiday weekend, July 10th, everybody. July 10th. I will be working tomorrow, but they will be paying me double time. And so I will be out there celebrating my Black, beautiful business on this wonderful, wonderful extended all year long until we decide not. July 10th, everybody. So welcome in. Thank you so much for joining Sandra P's Gen Extra. I hope everyone had a pretty relaxing week because we are in the middle of a heat wave, and this heat wave is nothing to play with. Stay hydrated, stay safe, stay cool, calm, and collected as best you can in this crazy heat. Welcome in, Linda Gamble, one of the sister moderators. I appreciate you so much. Happy Friday. Good morning. And thank you for saying like, comment, and subscribe. Hype the video. I have a banner running. When I see Linda, I think of that banner. It is for my protection. It's to remind everyone that when I share something, it is under the Copyright Act of 1976, Section 107. Cece was the first one in the building. Thank you, Cece. I appreciate it. Welcome to Sandra P's Gen Extra. Please like, share, comment, subscribe to push the channel up in the YouTube algorithm so that more people can enjoy all of the amazing content. That is correct. I appreciate you, Cece. Cece is the moderator that is here, present, even if she is multitasking, which she usually is. Thank you. I appreciate you as always. Good Friday morning to you. Sandra P's Gen Extra, sister mods, and chat. And then we have Linda Gamble come in. So thank you so much, Linda Gamble. Speaking to myself, saying good morning, greeting Cece, her niece. And that is where I started out with like, comment, and subscribe. So I scrolled up. I apologize for that. Thank you. Good morning, American Born. American Born is one of my friends on the YouTube streets. We like to roam and find out information together and apart. So American Born, don't stay away from me. American Born, come in and take your seat. Everyone who is here, I appreciate you are in my life for, as they say, a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And I don't take any of it for granted. I appreciate it all. And I say that because one of my other moderators, I won't tell her business, but keep Angela A. in your prayers. She is my friend, my sister, one of my travel buddies. Keep her in your prayers. And we have not seen her in here because she is going through some things that she is working through. Just keep her in your prayers, as I always do. And if you're watching, Angela, I love you and I miss you. And I'll speak to you soon. Yes, I will. So just think of Angela A., everyone, and send up good thoughts. American Born is speaking to everyone, saying good morning to myself, Linda Gamble, Cece, the chat. So American Born is the welcoming committee as well as the moderators. I appreciate the moderators for doing that. Yes, to double time. Yeah, I can't argue with double time. That's one of the great things. Y'all know I'm a union sister, honey, and unions, we have the unions to think for 40-hour work week, no child labor, double time. Sometimes there's triple time. If they need me longer, I may stay a little longer. Ophelia Burkhalter, this is my YouTube friend. I love to see her in the YouTube streets. And she also is wonderful in being a welcoming committee. Good morning to Sandra P. and everyone. Also, I love my active chat people because they keep me on, if not the straight and narrow, if I wander off the path, they pull me back on. So this will be a cute little, not too much for a Friday morning on an extended July 10th weekend. And I'm just happy to see everyone that is here and able to go through this review with me. Because Next Gen NYC, they didn't give me a lot, but they gave me enough. And old Charlie, bad Charlie, old Po Charlie, I had got my foot up off your neck. I'm putting back on. Because I don't know what kind of influence you're trying to be on Zaxby's grandson, our little Hudson. Hudson done cut his hair, put on a $5,000 pair of pants. And Hudson he's around somebody. I'm concerned for him. So Charlie, I'm going to dig up in your business again and remind the people like myself who was thinking Charlie's kind of harmless. Might be something sinister going on here. These friend groups, you got to be really careful. I watched a live yesterday. Thank you for giving prayers up for Angela A. Thank you. That is American Born was sending up her prayers. CC is prayers for Angela A. I noticed her absence from the channel. Yes. And I just wish her well. Also, I have not seen the other recipient of we only have 2 theme songs, Miss Jackson. So Miss Jackson, who you are for real, wherever you are. And I hope you are doing well wherever you are. The last we saw Miss Jackson, she was headed off for a long weekend, honey, and we have not seen her. But people dip in or out as they choose, and they're always welcome to do so. But if I know I haven't seen them for a reason, and I'm sending up prayers for Angela A., I know the reason. That's why I asked this morning. Yes, I worked for a union many months ago. I ate them up with double and triple time. Many moons ago. Oh, at American Born. So that was some time back in the day. Unfortunately, unions have dwindled because there is a certain demographic and group and party that do not like for things to be fair. So while they'll fight to the death for Amazon, the Amazon workers, not so much. They'll close a facility down before they'll allow union to come in. We've seen it done. Walmart, you're another one. Number 1 company with people collecting welfare and EBT benefits. Check it out. It's true. Walmart. American Born says Charlie wants his money for his crypto scams. Thank you, American Born, for reminding me of Charlie and what Charlie is into. Hudson, Charlie's into some sinister stuff. Ariana is very young, but she's one of the old young. And the old young have a lot of discernment. They watch people. Sometimes they are involved in families where maybe they saw a little too much too soon. We know this for a fact about Ariana. Kim Z is her mother. We saw a Kim Z throwback where she is telling Hudson, you're a target. I think she called him a target. You're a mark. People see you as a mark. I don't know if it's the diamonds and little fresh-faced Hudson. He had the long hair then. He's just a listener. But Charlie does see him as a mark, and American Born is giving her opinion. I happen to agree with this opinion. Charlie wants his money for his crypto scams. We see that another young investor from last season, George Washington's ex-boyfriend, otherwise known as Georgia of the unwashed hands, Omar, broke up with Georgia, left her in another country. I'm questioning your morals, Omar. He had only met Charlie 3 times, and now they're thick as thieves, taking Georgia's idea and they're running with it. And Ophelia says, praying for Angela. Thank you, Ophelia Burkhalter. I appreciate that. And I will let Angela know that I asked for prayers for her. They were received, and she's always in our thoughts, our minds, and we are sending up prayers for Angela A. So I appreciate that, everybody. Thank you. So let me make a note to myself. Note to self. Get Charlie. All right, and that's a real note, everybody. I'm going to pull up, Charlie, I'm going to dig back in your business. I did a whole extra on you and that crypto scam. And also, it was in the New York Times, everybody. That man that Charlie knew, a friend of Charlie's. They didn't meet me. I was there. Charlie, you're lying. There's a picture of him in all of the New York dailies outside of what they were calling the torture town home. He frequented there. He was also inside there. Police brought everybody out because they were looking for an Italian tourist being held against his will by one of the people in Charlie's circle. AB is saying what I think as well. Omar is just as shady in my opinion. He is. That's why they're kind of together. And I'm concerned also for Shy. Shy, you walking around like a little puppy trying to be accepted. Shy, that's very dangerous. Don't worry about being accepted. We liked you as you were. Riley liked you as you were. So why are you over here with Charlie? So we see Ariana concerned about Hudson, Riley concerned about Charlie, and for good reason. You have to watch these friends, and y'all know I've lived life, and I have huge family. I've cut down a lot of the friends that I've had, but over the years, I'm a person that I'm a calm personality, and they do really like to be around me. And so I can be one of those people that are there just, welcome to be there and happy to be there. And my mood is, I'm even keeled. I like to keep things, where nothing too crazy is going on. So when you do that, you are around people like a Charlie or one of these other personalities. Charlie doesn't mean Hudson any good, or Omar. So I'm just happy that Ariana, who's known this person she's known Hudson over 10 years, and they're in their early 20s. So y'all, that's half a lifetime. And Riley's also concerned for her friend Shy. She took Shy under her wing, and Shy's running up behind Charlie. So they got to be careful. And also, Charlie is a full decade older than these people, with the exception of Amira. I see you, Amira. Amira, you have a little bit of envy in you because you had to get it out the mud, or what you consider the mud. Her parents are doing perfectly well by her, but she's one of those people that she wants more. She wants a certain lifestyle. She wants to be other than she is. I'm going to leave that there. Amira, I see you. Everybody has had an issue with Charlie. You're like, I don't really have a problem with Charlie, and you're making sure he's around. They could have successfully iced Charlie out, even though I didn't mind the whole ensemble coming back. There's a lot to Charlie. I'm going to dig up Dawson. Dawson is the friend that was living with him in that condo. You see how Dawson was keeping the place, trying to be neat. Charlie was just nasty up in there. Leaving everything until the maid came in. There's those certain type kids, it's just disgusting. AB says, the girls are keeping an eye on Shy. Yeah, Shy doesn't know it, but he's in danger. Shy, you're what they call a fall guy. When the Charlies of the world get into trouble, and fathers like Charlie, they're just glad to have the Shys and Hudsons of the world around to take some of the blame. And then they swoop in and they pull their child out of it, 30-something-year-old child, because they never grow up. They're a perpetual boy with the looks of Charlie. Okay, blonde, the devil may care. I don't like Charlie anymore for this ensemble, and I'll keep going. Why are these questionable people on Bravo? Cece, I think they do it to help the storyline along. But in a place like New York, with people this impressionable, the ages, Ariana, Riley, Rowan, Brooke Shields' daughter, they're 23 years old. Charlie's 30 plus years old. Amara's 29 years old. Somebody who told them, one of my subscribers, get over on In the City. Oh, Kiwan JTV. She has her own channel. One of my fellow content creators. Go to In the City. Deal with the grown people. Y'all 30-something, 40-something years old. So yeah, we're going to get on you, Charlie. But for right now, let me start with just doing a review, and then I won't forget. And we won't be here too long, because actually in getting some of this holiday money, I'm going to actually start today with that. So we'll get started with the review, but I won't forget Dalton. I'm going to let the people know where you are and what you're doing, because I like Dalton. And then Charlie, I'm going to get on Charlie again. So where we are now, this day party, not the day party, I'm sorry. Amira's birthday party continues, and we get Ava and Gia. Ava is demanding that Gia apologize to her. And what I find so cute about this scene is that, remember, it was a cowboy, or as Amira, this kind of fell flat. The costumes were cute, or the wear was cute, but she was calling a country, but trying to say it like, see you next Tuesday. This is still Bravo, Amira. Okay, we're not doing all that. But Ava's in her 10-gallon hat, and Gia's in her little 10-gallon hat. And so it's kind of a standoff. Gia is Teresa Jr. Gia is so confused. Gia, y'all, I like Gia, but the Bravoverse, they get on Gia because Gia's a trip. She's confused about what it is. You're saying my mom, she doesn't know you to unfollow you. Now, Gia, that's a little offensive. I don't know if it's shade or not, but it's a little offensive. I promise she doesn't know who you are to unfollow you. Ava's demanding this apology. You said I lied. You went on a podcast. You know the industry that we're in. If you're unreliable or a liar, Ava, you are unreliable and a liar. I couldn't remember where you were at the Jersey Shore trip, because you took another job, went up to the Hamptons, and then they find out that it wasn't a modeling gig or you doing any type runway or a big party. You were just asked to be somewhere, and you were, when you could have been on this job. And I'm sorry, if this had been a flop and they hadn't been renewed and they didn't have the buzz, and BravoCon and Bravo Andy and everybody didn't love them, Ava would have quit this like she quit everything else. We see you, Ava. Ava needs you. I'm getting ready to get her. So she is complaining to Gia, you owe me an apology. And Gia's like, I don't remember. Okay, you said that. Gia's trying to figure it out. Brooks is there like, oh, Lord, the people are listening, but Ava, this wasn't all that. I think Ava just wanted attention. Then we find out Amira moved the party to a second location, but Ava waited to the second location to bring it up. So Amira's appreciative. Amira, I see you too. Anybody you feel like you can get a little clout off of or is cool enough, you're going to forgive. And then other people, you might try to have a little beef with them, like you targeting George Washington. And she folded you right on up, packed you up, said, I would never, ever, ever put 10 never evers to your men. And you got to go home and lay with them. So how does that feel, Amira? So Teresa unfollowed Gia. No, Teresa unfollowed Ava, according to Gia doesn't know what's going on. Teresa may not have never followed you, but there is a way. Ava has receipts. She has pulled up her phone. She's showing us how you know. We get a confession from Gia, still confused. Why is this documented in your phone? Gia, I'm asking the same question. Gia finally apologizes. She calls it a tie. Ava said, and you call me a B too. I would like apology for that as well. Ava and this 10-gallon hat are doing a lot, but Gia doesn't want the problems yet because we know Gia doesn't really run from problems. She's just on her milder thing. She's moved to as close to New York as she can get. So she's doing a little milder thing. She's hanging around Ariana, who is mild, but no punk. So in the confessional, Gia, she just attributes it to AI. They even made me fat and said I was pregnant. Charlie is, what's going on? Oh, that's why I don't follow anybody. He shows us he doesn't follow anybody. Then he wants to know, what does Teresa follow me? She better. That's not how that works, Charlie. You follow somebody, they may or may not follow you back. But I promise you, Teresa doesn't remember Charlie either. Liam is letting us know, I like Brooks and his friends, like Hudson. He's already laid down these ground rules for people to engage with Ariana. Hudson, you got a little bit of baby stalker vibes. You are very possessive. And y'all two are no longer together. Every time Hudson walked by Ariana, he reaches out. He wants a hug. And she's getting a little annoyed with him. But she loves Hudson. She's concerned with what he's going through. He's still in love with Ariana. She says she still have her tattoo. I'm not going to be spending money yet to get tattoos off because we all know they've been back and forth. And the rumor is they're back together now. She said, well, your ink of me is red ink. We get a confessional from Hudson. So Hudson's main cast, I guess. Hudson says, I think we'll get back together. So this tattoo is forever. And red ink, Ariana said, doesn't come off. This should be alarming to you, Ariana. He feels like you're his forever. That does happen sometimes in your 20s. But I don't know. I don't know about this. Because she says that he was unmotivated. She'd go to a gym, do content, visit friends, run errands, come back, and Hudson's in the same spot. So Hudson, you sitting there waiting on Ariana? I don't know. Shai tells us that last year, Charlie was doing a similar thing, that he might want to F Ariana. And then we get the flashback to Hudson saying, I know you do. I got a bad beat. And we know Hudson got ready to put hands and feet on Charlie. He said, I fold you up in them corduroys. One of them had on corduroys, and it was an issue. It was an insult that made me kind of laugh. So Shai was saying, yeah, Hudson warned me off last summer. I stopped texting as much because production said, you still text her? We see that he still texts her. Garbage man is here, so excuse me. They're discussing wiki feet. Ava comes over there. She said that makes her feel uncomfortable. Evidently, they find all these feet pictures of people, post them. Gia has one with a lot on it. And I don't think it's the person, whomever this site is, just if you're out or you post pictures, they can pull stuff. So if you ever are out with your feet out and the feet not done, they could post you and they give you a score. Or if you have your feet done, you get high scores like 4.9. So the guys say they've had that done to them. Brooks finds it hysterical. It is a little bit funny. Ariana has walked by Hudson again and getting hugged on and kissed. I want to hold you and kiss you and hug you. Ariana saying, well, last year you didn't want to do any of that. And she's letting him know this is kind of annoying. And I want to check on you because I don't want you with Charlie. I heard you hanging out with Charlie Charlie's my friend, this, that, and the other. Hudson, this is not your friend. Hudson said, we came together, we pre-gamed. So the group as a whole, and group, I'm older than y'all. I'm Gen X to y'all Z. Some of y'all could be my children or even grandchildren, depending on when you start. Probably Riley and Ariana could be grands. No, they couldn't be grand. No, they could have a grand for me. So they're my internet nieces anyway. They're all concerned with Charlie using Hudson. We see the clip where Kim Zolciak takes one to know one, said that you're a target. I don't know if it's the diamonds or what. You know, Hudson likes his jewelry, his expensive watches, and $5,000 pants. So I like Hudson enough that I don't want to see him in anything messy with Charlie. Shy, you too. Just keep him around as part of the group as long as Amara's bringing him in as a group. But I don't want them to feel like that is a friend. We get a Brielle sighting. The people in my chat and the subs, they noticed Brielle last week. Brielle, when I listen to her, that's Big Kim. So Ariana's saying, I feel kind of bad. I'm feeling like a B. Brielle says no. She got a new face, but it's Brielle when I'm listening. Brielle, you're looking pretty. She didn't do too much, but her and her mom ended up on Botched because they were on the verge of doing too much. Kim Z, you still did too much. So medium-sized Kim is saying, no, you're not a B. You've chosen yourself for once and keep choosing yourself. You're doing the right thing. So I just love the way her sister was talking to her, because Ariana feels like, you know, I've left Hudson and now he's out here going astray or asunder, and she's trying to keep him on the straight and narrow. But Ariana, that's his parents' issue. You can just be a friend to him. Don't get yourself caught up, and just say what you can, what he'll accept, and just leave it at that. He's at an age, he's going to explore himself. He's back and forth between Atlanta, New York, and we haven't, Hudson, can we meet your parents? So they are not out here like this. Somebody told me the mom folded somebody up. So they may agree with whatever Hudson decides to do, and he has the funds to do it. So I'm a little concerned for Hudson. Hudson, we got our eye on you. We got the cloak of immunity on you because you were here last season. It was over the whole show, but you were not full cast. So Hudson, I still want to take care of Hudson, y'all. I don't know where this is going. No place good. So let me go back, read any comments that I might have related to this, and then we're going to go back to the rest of this scene. All right, everybody. Andre Shannon, welcome in. Thank you so much for joining us during this live. This is my friend Andre Shannon from Atlanta, and he is a Housewives connoisseur. But thank you for joining us on Next Gen NYC. So we're focusing on Next Gen NYC, and then I have a few extras related to Next Gen NYC because the Charlie character is going to be an issue. AB says they don't seem to do their due diligence. That was an answer to why are these questionable people on Bravo. And while I'd like to agree with AB, I think all the stuff that we can find in the YouTube streets and Reddit streets find, AB, I think they know. I think they feel like it's more spicy for their show. But on a show with people this age, okay, Dino over on Rhode Island, we can deal with Dino. They grown, and we're grown. This is a younger group. Riley's 23, Ariana's 23, Rowan, I think, just turned 23. Charlie's a full 10 years older. The person that he was involved with that committed that federal crime, y'all, kidnapping. Might have been international incident because it was an Italian tourist. So I think that they think it's, you know, it's cute. It's going to do stuff for the show. And the producers are young, thirsty people as well. Carlos King came out of the world of production. American Born says, Teresa probably isn't that tech savvy, and she's laughing. I think that's a big part of it. And then if she heard also anything about if there was any Ava and Gia friction, which I don't think that there was, because Ava kept trying to get into it with Gia, and Gia was like, I really don't have beef with you. And Ava, that was your warning if you'll listen. Gia's saying, I don't have a problem with you, but I could. And Ava, as bad as you think you are, I don't think you want it with Gia. Gia's no punk. I can see now Ava, after she this going on with Kyle's, shaking my head. She's going to do anything to get the bag. AB, she is. Because now she's back over here full force, all in the camera, all in the video. Ava, we couldn't find you last season. We were like, come on, Ava. We want to see you. So Andre Shannon has stepped in and said, Next Gen NYC, it's really good reality from 3 Real Housewives franchises. Riley, Candy's daughter from Real Housewives of Atlanta, Ariana, Bierman, Kim Zolciak's daughter, Brooke's mother, Meredith Marks. It's a great idea for a show, Andre Shannon. What you think about our girl Noelle, Cynthia's daughter? She's in the world of modeling. She is actually in LA, and the word on the street since last year, Andre, they're going to do a next gen LA. So there is a lot of Housewives' daughter, Bravo celebrities, kids. That'll be amazing as well. I hope that it's in the works. Brooke's mom, Meredith Marks from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Yes, all present and accounted for. Then they sprinkled in other groups of kids and the kids' friends and affiliations. So Hudson, having dated Ariana, being the grandson of Zaxby's. Riley has a new boyfriend. Riley's a little private. I've seen him on her Raleigh World Tour. So she traveled some with him. And then at his graduation, so he is a college graduate. He graduated this year. I pulled their picture somewhere, and I don't know what I did with it. Hudson should have done what Ariana asked him to do. The American born, why couldn't he? He's just home all day. Now, when she was trying to do her fashion line, which I think she's put by the wayside, Ariana, you still could do it if Brooks could do one. Brooks doesn't sew or have a fashion sense. Andre Shannon says, Teresa Judith's daughter, Gia, from Real Housewives of Jersey. Yes, Gia is instrumental to this. And this is why I don't call for people to be fired first season. People wanted Gia out of here. I never did. I have a lot of compassion for Gia. And when I don't, I just remember Gia ran that house. We saw the little one get born on TV, Melania. Juicy Joe went to jail. Teresa went to jail. And Gia is in charge of all those girls. So she's practically raising her sisters. I do love that she could move out of Teresa's house. We saw them packing up last week. That was really cute. Teresa trying to give away all that tacky cheetah print and zebra skin plates. And Gia wouldn't take it. I do think Hudson could take Charlie. Oh, I think so too. That's a country boy. The Zaxby family is Virginia. He lives in Atlanta by choice, but absolutely. Damon Dash's daughter, Ava. Andre Shannon, she's still living off that. And I think Damon watched the show because we saw him a few times last season. And Damon probably let her know, hey, you got to get in there, baby girl. You can't live off my personality. Because y'all know I think Ava's a little bit boring. A little bit paint drying. But she's pretty paint, so we'll allow it. And she seems to be trying to step up. Cece spoke to Andre Shannon and told him good morning. And Andre's just giving us facts. Hudson is rich in privileges, but just privileged. Yeah, like I said, he's the grandson of Zaxby's, so I'm glad he's here. American Born says Kim Z can smell money from a mile away. She sure did. And she zoomed in on Hudson. She says, okay, what's the next steps? And quiet as it kept, that might have scared Ariana away a little bit. Like, she'll marry us off, and I'm not trying to do that right now. But Ariana, I think she's strong enough to let her choice be her choice, even at only 23. So privilege, Hudson and Riley. You notice how different that privilege is, though, Andre Shannon. They both come from money where they don't have to do anything. And Riley is out here. She did her travel gap year. Now she's back in school. We see a throwback scene with Candy, and old Todd was even there. Blaze, Ace. I loved when they came to New York to surprise Riley. Riley's back in school now. She's going to be an entertainment lawyer. We watch her grow up on TV. Bravo did a short visiting Ariana's apartment. Is really nice. Yeah, I have to get back over there, AB, and look at it. Andre says, Ariana's a very nice young woman. Ava is too. Ava has another protector in the chat, Andre Shannon. It's great to see it. Ava needs all the help she can get over here because I get on her sometime. Ariana's really sweet. My favorite part of season 1, and I think helped get them season 2, is Riley and Ariana's history and their renewed friendship. We know when Kim Z and Candy infamously fell out, kind of over tardy for the party, and kind of that Kim Z's a bad friend. So she made close to $100,000 on tardy for the party, which Candy built from scratch, and gave Candy $6,000 and says, my lawyer says I don't have to give you anything. And it hurt Candy's feelings to the point she was crying in the reunion. And then other things. Oh, that's one black baby she held, all kind of stuff, which Sheree ran back because Sheree was jealous of the Candy-Kim friendship. They fell out. And at the time, the 2 6-year-olds, they fell out and they never spoke again. So they are back. They are friends, and I love it. Hudson did say on the after show he never gave any money to Charlie and Omar. Thank goodness. Oh, American Born, I'm so glad to hear that. I think he felt that since he was funding he and Ariana's lifestyle, that he could just lay up and wait for her to return and she's always going to be grateful. There are the Kelseys of the world that will do that. But Ariana, as Andre said, is a very nice young woman. She's also get up and go. She has her work ethic and she kind of ran her house a little bit because Brielle is like a medium-sized Kim. Brielle is looking for men. We remember Kim trying to auction her off. You know what? My daughter, who do my daughter have to F to get John Legend's tickets? So that's where her and Brielle's mind is. And Ariana's a little go-getter. We see her when she gets up, cleans up, she starts working on her content. And I am proud of Ariana, Riley, even though George Washington with her unwashed hands. She's out here trying to do different things. I just love it for them. Charlie's Privilege, the Hudson's Rich on Wendy's. No, Andre Shannon, it's not Wendy's. It's actually Zaxby's. That's why I call him grandson of Zaxby's. Charlie's Privilege because his father is a financial advisor. So Charlie's living on a stipend. He usually try to invest into crypto with that. I don't know how successful he is. And scamming. There was a question of a $16,000 tab that Riley picked up with Candy's card. We find out about that through social media. So there are many reasons why Riley and Charlie don't F with each other, even though we'll see him act like, what I do to you, Riley, that we're not friends? We see you, Charlie. And Riley sees him for his work. She's not playing with him. Good morning from Atlanta, Georgia. Yes, Andre Shannon, welcome in. Thank you so much. So Cece says the next gen was an idea stolen from someone who pitched a similar one to NBC. He has the receipts. I hope they have to pay him, Cece. There's a lot of that going on. And a lot of people don't know that when you pitch a show, you got to watch it like a hawk and be very protective. Carlos King is one of the producers. This is all allegedly. This is in my opinion. We have heard this in the past. When you pitch to him, he tried to change something. He did it to Melody and Martell when they were the hosts at that time. But Melody Cherie had Martell drive her down, pitched the idea, and it was kind of like a real estate development, rebuild Huntsville with the three power couples, 6 people type show. And it was a working show. And Carlos tweaked it a little bit, changed it to Love and Marriage, and voila, he got a whole franchise based on that. But you never can win when you play dirty. Shout out to Nene, Andre Shannon, that's your Atlanta sister. Never can win when you play dirty. The other franchises have struggled. And the one that was her vision is so far from her vision, it's unrecognizable. And they got to keep it going with dirt. So Detroit, I don't know that they're ever coming back. DC, I don't know that they're ever coming back. AB says, who was it? Sounds like what Deb Antony did to the Brat. I just found out about that American Born, and I want the Brat to pursue Deb Antony for that. Because Deb thinks she's bad just because she's supposed to be a gangster and all this kind of stuff and tough talking to Deb Antony. I'm going for Trump right now. Yeah, Deb, I bet you are, but you need to pay the Brat because Brat was a child rapper or a very young rapper. I first saw Brat rapping at, she's about 15. Jermaine Dupri scooped her up, kind of helped her with her style and everything. And she is the Brat. So I could see her coming up with a boot camp type idea for young, hungry rappers. Waka Flocka, to me, he's kind of like a mixtape type guy. They've accumulated wealth, but Deb Ant she's a little dirty and she's paid with the ultimate sacrifice. So I won't go into that too much. If you know, you know. Cece says my side eye goes up on Gia due to the cheating mess she was part of in college. Cece, Gia feels like she deserves something. You know, all of them got on the Trump train once Daddy got deported. And I think it was trying to get that card back. I can tell you right now, Gia, that's $5 million. So get your money up. I forgot about that, AB said. Yeah, she's a part of it. And AB, you said, why don't they kind of delve into the past a little bit better? They bring in Lori Loughlin over here, and she actually was charged with that and served a little bit of time. They're bringing her over to either Beverly Hills or OC. She's coming on the show. I don't want to see her. I love that Ariana and I became friends again. That was my favorite part of the season, AB. And like I said, I think it helped them with the second season. Charlie, the oldest man on Next Gen NYC, his rich dad and trust fund Charlie father disrespects his son rude manner. Andre, when we have Kiwan in here, she was like, why don't he go to In the City? That cast is 30s and 40s. Because Charlie he's too old for these kids. And when I bring up his past, we'll see CK has stolen many ideas. He's been outed so many times for that, and people still pitch to him American born. You better have your stuff copywritten when you go in there. Riley's 23 years old. Ariana's 24. I'm happy for their friendship. Me too. They're among the babies on the cast, and I am glad these two Atlanta girls have each other in Big Bad New York. 6 likes for in the chat. So thank you everyone that's come in and liked the video. Team Replay. If you're part of the Replay team, you get access to Hype. So you only get 3 a week. Use them sparingly. Think of myself as a young, up-and-coming, growing content creator, and let me hold one. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I do as well. I want Brad to sue her. Yeah, and people think they can just debo stuff and just take something. That's my bike now. No, Debbie Anthony, I think the Brat gonna do something with you because she is talking to Judy about it on her show. I think that's why it came out. I think I saw a preview of that. And we're going to do something about that, Debbie Anthony. You're not going to get to do that. The Brat's own life, she, like the petty, you typing in script now, Andre Shannon. I'll try to decipher what it is. The party on Next Gen NYC. Well, I'm not sure. It's something about the Brat. But as AB said, I hope she sues her. I hope she sues her as well. Okay, I hope she sues her as well. So let's go back to the scene. And y'all, I'll get back in the comments and we will discuss a little more. So we find out that Georgia's ex, Omar, is also hanging with Charlie. He has stolen her bowling alley idea that the entire cast, including Charlie, laughed at. So Charlie, now you've befriended her ex, who you had met 3 times, and then you have the nerve to submit her idea as yours. But as we have said, he's a trust fund kid, and he thinks that he can do whatever he wants to do to people. Georgia has a new boyfriend. His name is Prez. He's building up some kind of app. So he's building up this app that I'm not sure what the app does. I think it does betting or something. They gave us a little preview of what it does. So it's an app. Something about betting. I don't know. So Georgia has a little bit of a soft spot for Charlie. The guy let me sleep on his couch for a month, but he did 7,000 other terrible things that I can't forgive him for. Georgia, you are correct to be grateful for what he did for you. And also you're correct to be wary to get involved with him again. Charlie is a user. And he talked about you like a dog, called her poor, all kind of stuff. So I understand her being hesitant to be friends with him again. So the thing I deduced from that party is Hudson is still attached to Ariana, and she's still trying to find her freedom, find her way in New York. I love the fact that her sister just let her know you're being for yourself. You're putting yourself first. You have every right to do that. So George's new boyfriend, Prez, we find out he is a New Yorker. He's within that community. He's also in the circle of Brooke Shields' daughter, Rowan, and they've known each other from children. So they go to tea, and George is trying to school him. Have you ever been to high tea? He's like, only about 9, 10 times. So you are very familiar with high tea because most people, if they haven't been like on a cruise or in an area where they make that a thing, like maybe Charleston or somewhere where you have high tea, you wouldn't go to a high tea. I've only been because I like to cruise and they have that there. And when I finally get to London, I want to go to high tea as well. So they go to tea. And then next we get a scene with Amira. This is the 2nd episode this season, and we see Amira's parents again. So the father is from Dallas. Well, not from Dallas, but he lives in Dallas now. And she tells us she came to New York with a little afro and a dream. She went to NYU, full scholarship. Dad says, you've always been like that. You're a get up and go girl, but if it doesn't work, come to Dallas with me. She said, no. Amira feels like she's a New Yorker now, and she is. She looks just like a beautiful mom. But I got an eye on Amira because, like Andre pointed out about Charlie, she's a decade older than the rest of these kids as well. You say you're 29, or did you just turn 30, Amira? I don't know. You too old to be hanging around Riley and them, especially if you're trying to keep pulling Charlie in. So Ava says, we see the Amira's talking about how she kind of got it out the mud in New York. Not really. With a full scholarship, not really. She tells a story about the type of kids she's grown up with. This is where I see the envy in her, because this is true of New York, also Atlanta. I have a niece that attended Spelman. You will see these children with a pedigree. They saw the dorm. This was Amara's reaction, like, oh, okay, I'm living at the dorm. The roommate's reaction is, oh no, I can't stay here. Calls her parents up. Next thing you know, they done bought her a $7 million condo. And Amara's like, I'll be visiting, but I'm living in the dorm. Because again, she's on scholarship. So you can't tell me that being exposed to that doesn't give a little bit of, you get a little bit of envy in you. So I see that in Amira. And I think that's maybe why she's tormenting the rest of the kids by having Charlie around, who they tried to ice out and would have been successful. But Charlie's like mold, honey. He keep popping up. We get a scene with Ava walking down the street telling us, oh, having famous parents is a blessing and a curse. I'm looking for a place. And she's talking about a doorman building. Y'all, Ava doesn't have pot nor window. She is an influencer that has not built her followers up yet. And she is talking about a doorman building. One thing I like that they do, I'm sorry, y'all have to do it over late for a second. One thing I love that they do is they do have the joint confessionals. So we get a confessional with George Washington, otherwise known as Georgia, and Ava. And when she tells her she's looking for a place, Georgia is kind of like a jack of all trades. She's like, oh, I might have something for you. I know a place. It's a nice building. It's over a sushi shop. You can probably get free sushi. Ava here talking about, I need a doorman building for safety. So Ava, doorman building is going to cost a little more money. How much is Dame Dash giving you? And then what did you do last time? Or maybe not anything. Maybe he was just having money problems where he stopped funding you. So y'all, that is a little bit crazy. This lady's looking for a doorman building. So she's looking for a doorman building. She's weighing sushi or safety, sushi or safety. So Ava can be a little bit funny when she wants to. She is a trip. But you're a beautiful deadbeat, Ava. You are. But she's so young, we'll allow it. She is of the age of, she's along with Rowan, Brooke Shields' daughter, and also Ariana and Riley. That's who this show is for. I'll even take the mid-20s one, like Georgia. Shy's young too. So Georgia is still being a little bit standoffish with Charlie because of what he did to her. We watched him argue with her on the street. I thought Charlie got very aggressive. I remember him in her face. And I remember being proud of Georgia for standing up for herself. So Shy and Charlie are hanging out. He is letting us know, good job, Shy, getting your business showcased on this show. This is amazing. He says he sews. We did see that he sewed last season. Actually sews. He doesn't just say, I'm a designer like Brooks. He sews. He has a special line where he does 30 dress shirts. They're original. He used recycled material. He said a grandma might have linen or one of a kind. And we do. Y'all, why my mother have all these beautiful fabrics that she set aside? I don't know if it's enough to have anything made, but that is something I want to do when I go to Thailand. A shirt or I don't know, something. So these recycled originals. He said Hudson's bought quite a few pieces because Charlie's a user. He's like, oh yeah, that's the move. That's the move. So Hudson is trying to support his friend. I think that's great, Hudson. So we find out from American Born. I'm glad he's not just giving away or investing with Charlie and Omar, but he will buy from Shy for something that he can use. And I think Shy's in one of the shirts. It's a beautiful shirt. It's well made. You can name your price. People love having one of a kind thing. So Charlie is agreeing with that. And then we see the flashback scene. I think it was here where Kim identified Hudson as a mark. Charlie is saying, I think that Shy likes Ariana. This is another thing about Charlie. You sly. You like Ariana too. They both do. But Shy's kind of like a little crush on her. And he has gotten into, Riley says he has little bro energy. He does. He's liked and trusted by Riley. So he is in that circle. And he has access to Ariana where he can just, we saw him in the car when they were pre-gaming going to the party. He can just text her like, where you at? What you up to? And Ariana just sees him as a safe friend. So Charlie is saying, well, I wouldn't do that to Hudson. Charlie, yes, you would. That's why you and Hudson got into it last season. He says, but, if they're not together anymore, and I would feel kind of bad if I effed her. So Charlie, you're still talking a little bit slick, and I don't really like it. I want Ariana to date outside of this circle, and I think she will. Even Liam, I think once she's been with one of the people in the circle, just don't get the reputation of you smashing the homies, as Ray J would say. So I think Shy better be careful around Charlie as well, as I've said. And Charlie's going to twist this conversation and make it seem like Shy is the one talking crazy about Ariana, and he's not. So we get one of those scenes where the friend group is texting. We get Riley walking down the street. All the different friends are walking to different directions, reading the text, hearting the text. Riley got behind. She said, well, when I was doing my Riley World Tour, she got kind of behind. She looks really pretty in her confessional. She said, you will get like 20 texts, and then all of the groups got to heart the text, and it becomes overwhelming. She said, Ariana kind of tells me what's going on, but she leaves out a lot of stuff. So I can see Ariana being like a not so great reporter. So we got Brooks. I'm experiencing delays in my resort wear line. Brooks, that's because you're lazy and you're not a real designer. Y'all remember he had one tracksuit and it walked Fashion Week because of his affiliation with Bravo and his mom, Meredith Marks. So he said the pieces were sent to a warehouse in Austin. Materials are there. So I got to work out logistics on getting them to New York. I want to launch in New York. So Bravo is determined to make this happen. Brooks doesn't design or sew, whereas Shy does. So not that they're in competition, but I can understand why Shy would have a fashion line. I think that's a really unique idea that he does. We get another joint confessional. We've got Liam and Brooks in a joint. Liam's like, I want to be the 3 a.m. friend. You can call me and I'll help bury a body. Everybody who meets Brooks just wants to pull him in and kind of take care of him. So Brooks is happy about that. And I can understand it because Brooks is a little sheltered. I criticize Meredith and also Seth. I think they spent much too much time in our face in New York last season. I like the sprinkle of the parents. Candy had the perfect mix. We didn't see her too much. She was there to support Riley, but not too much. Same thing with Kim Zolciak, even Teresa. And Teresa's right there in Jersey. So thankfully, we have not seen Meredith or Seth this season. Seth even had inappropriate scenes with Dalton and Charlie, the friends. So I didn't like that. Liam says his parents have a house. I think he said it was Lake George. It's like 2 different worlds. And he says that he wants to develop his friendship with Brooks. So I do like that. And then next we see him saying, and then, I'll help you get your stuff out the factory. I could see myself renting a U-Haul and us just bringing it from Austin to New York. And Brooks is like, wow, that's crazy. I wouldn't advise that because Brooks don't seem like he can help navigate or drive. He reads very young. He's young, but he's mid-20s, but he's so sheltered. And Chloe as well. Chloe is his pretty sister. She's very sheltered as well. Georgia doesn't understand Shy or Charlie's relationship either. This is a theme that the whole cast is talking about. Riley embraced him, according to Georgia, and we saw it. She said Riley was really good friends with him, and Charlie was so mean to her last season. They showed us the flashback with Charlie and his microaggressions, had Riley upset and crying when they were on the way to Gia's house, and she tried to talk to him. He's like, please let go of my arm, like Riley was getting ready to turn into this angry Black woman and attack him. So Charlie, you did a lot of terrible stuff. Riley says the group is usually doing too much, but I'm glad Riley is more a part of the group this season. And they know that Riley is a big part of this show's popularity as well. And the protective instinct that she raised in a lot of people that were watching the show. Bravo, we got our eye on you. So I'll go back through any comments and then I'll come back and finish up the scenes. And then I will go back and we'll talk about Charlie and what we already know about him. And then some of my warnings for Hudson and Shy. So we were talking about Deb Antony stealing the show idea from the Brat. The Brat has her life, marriage, motherhood. She really likes Next Gen NYC. Oh, you must listen to her on her morning show. I don't, only when they go viral. She's over there with Ricky Smiley and Gary with the T, who tries to hip you to the T. Oh, gossiping Gary. Gary gets on my nerve, but he makes me laugh. American Born says there is a site where people bet on predictions, and it really took off. Not sure who owns it, though. Oh, so maybe that is what the friend is basing his idea on. I hope it's very lucrative, and I hope it does great things for him, maybe. These kids are so creative. And then the ones that aren't creative, Charlie, they just like to steal. or lay back on their laurels. Brooks, get out here and design something. Brooks, why aren't you in design school? Or take a sewing class. I used to sew. I still have my sewing machine. I'm not great at it, but there's a free class I might brush up. Andre says, even Candy got mad Bravo did that. And then something about Gia's education. Yeah, they're going to turn around and hire somebody out at either OC or I think it's Beverly Hills. Where's Lori Loughlin coming? That should have disqualified her. We don't want to see this old college cheat. AB says that grossed me out when he said he doesn't watch his hands as much now that he's with Georgia. Oh, yeah, Prez did say that. It's he. That's disgusting. And that's going to come up again. George Washington, you're not winning that argument. You were wrong. You touched the bottom of someone's shoe. You didn't went into a restroom and used it. You didn't try to hug a person who told you they did not want to hug and ask you to wash your hands. And you still try to make it a thing that you don't have to wash your hands. Y'all, we got all kind of viruses coming back. Airborne viruses, stuff that gets on your skin and eats up your skin. When you look at the person that is at the top of the health department, looks like a walking corpse. Robert Kennedy with that gravel in his throat, disgusting. And now Press talking about he don't wash his hands as much, that he's with Georgia. Georgia's still nasty, eating chips all in the boy's bed. He done told people he don't like it, and she still does it. So Georgia, you got to do better. Amara's doing something right, being able to afford $16,000 a month. AB, she's a hard worker. And I think whatever she's doing as far as influences, it also includes the brand deals as well. So she's doing great. I can see why she doesn't want to take that from New York to Dallas, especially being who she is. I still don't think Texas is so forward where they will be accepting of her. So she's smart. Bravo didn't pay for Gia's education. No, I don't think that they did pay for Gia's education. I think there was some type of cheating scandal about her getting into school. They paid Teresa Giudice enough along the years, and also Gia. They were collecting a small stipend where they didn't have to do a cheating scandal if Gia studied. Linda says 8 likes, 6 in the chat. Thank you, everyone. And she is speaking to everyone and saying good morning. Best believe Charlie won't buy anything from Shy. No, he won't. He just got a nerve to comment on it. So Shy needs to be really careful. And what I want to know as well, American Born, when they go out to eat, who's picking up the check? Brooke's lazy too. She's laughing. American Born, I see it. He could barely open his mouth to speak. You know he's lazy. And he is, my mom used to call him petted. These children that are just, their parents just stroke their ego and come on, baby, I got you. That is Seth and Meredith. Meredith has let us know, we've seen how protective she is over Brooks. Meredith is very zen and laid back. Talk about Brooks and watch what Meredith Marks turns into. And I love it, but I don't know if that's the greatest thing for Brooks' independence. Linda says, American Born, Brooks' mom told him last season he was lazy, the reason why he was working with her. Yeah, he started out as her stylist. Now, for you to get a gig as a stylist to a housewife, that is incredible nepotism. And I'm all for nepotism, but I think they should still have to work, because you best believe Blue wouldn't be up on that stage with Beyonce if she didn't work. Even when she started out kind of stiff, she was young and she let her come along, watch a master, and now she's doing great. You're right. I forgot about that. Yes, she did. It's one of those many scenes that Meredith Marks had first season. AB says, my hands stay dry from washing them hundreds of times a day. I could never. I can't either. That's one of my things, American Born. I have to wash my hands. I also carry around the little wipes, the antibacterial wipes. I have to. I already went back to wearing my mask. Linda Gamble, I do around people. I travel in a mask now. I need to start wearing it on, if anytime I'm around a lot of people, not just traveling. AB says, I don't blame you, Linda. I'm going to wash mine and start myself. Yeah, there's a lot of airborne things that are out here now. Abradesh and Kyle from Summer House is dating now. Linda Gamble, we had an extra yesterday, and now we know that Ava loves attention. They were in the Hamptons. They both kind of downplayed it, but they were caught kissing. Now we know that Kyle, now that he's officially separated, he's kissing a lot of girls, but they don't claim each other as boyfriend, girlfriend, but they've been hanging out. I strongly disapprove of the relationship. Ava is a very young, mid-20s, and Kyle is a grown married man who's been in a dead-end relationship for 10 years, married for 4 to an old long back lazy snake herself. Thank you, Cece. She says the replay gang. Hit the like button, drop a comment, and let's hype this video up. Yes, I appreciate that. Thank you. I think she's trying to get on Summer House and get some more money. Her parents don't have it. Yeah, American Born, I think so too. And I think Damon coaching her as big a personality as he is, he's letting her know you got to get out there and you got to work. Everybody had bigger seasons than Ava. Ava was kind of snoozing. Cece says, I never stopped wearing masks. That was very smart, Cece. American Born too. Dame Dash has a show on BET called The OGs. That sounds pretty good. I might have to look for that. That's smart. There are too many nasty bugs around. Yes, and now that you got people there that don't really believe in it, it's crazy. I think they're trying to kill off a large part of the population, starting with seniors and then certain groups. Oh, I didn't know that. Thank you. Yeah, we'll have to look for that. The show sounds pretty good. Love or hate Damon, and I don't care for him too much. I love how straightforward he is, and I love how he will get in someone's face and let them know what's what. Now, I wonder if we should get a few sightings of him this season. I wonder if he'll mention Slutty Vegan. They pretended that was part of the storyline. He was acting like Pinky Cole was opening up a New York franchise, and he's like, oh, that's my good friend, this, that, and the other. Now that Pinky Cole has this affiliation, we'll see. So we finally get to a scene where we meet Rowan. And we meet Rowan. She is in a joint confessional with Ariana. She is in a fancy black, it looks like an evening wear jumpsuit, but she's in it with Ariana. And she stands up, shakes the jumpsuit out. Ariana's joking like she just wanted to shake her A for me. Rowan, girl, sit down. Don't start jumping up and doing the shamia in these interviews. So she definitely got on this show on the strength of being Brooke Shields' daughter. Ariana says she's like a walking sitcom. She's not Georgia quirky, but she's quirky in her own way. And Rowan tells us, I never say it's not that like Brooke Shields is my mom. My mom is Brooke Shields. So I kind of get the distinction. Brooke Shields seems regular. I've been aware of Brooke Shields since Michael Jackson took her to the Grammys. But honestly, even before that, Brooke Shields was in a lot of movies. There's a documentary. I think Hulu had it. Her mom has passed away, but her mom was a stage mom. Put Brooke in a movie called Pretty Girl. Brooke was 12 years old, and the movie was about this child's virginity being auctioned off by some old man. And there were rumors that kind of mirrored what was going on in Hollywood in real life. So this was really terrible. So she connected with Michael Jackson on being a child star, and we remember her at his memorial, undone, crying and speaking over her lost friend. So a mess. Now we have Rowan on the show. Rowan, I hold reservation on Rowan, but I definitely think she's here because she is Brooke Shields' daughter. There's some type of an event where Riley, Amira, and Ava Dash are putting on. It's like their favorite things event. So congratulations to the three of them. They're starting to get brand deals. So now they've got income coming in from that. Charlie, I don't know what you would sell. You need to try to start doing something, bringing in money. Georgia, still nasty, as I said. She eats chips in Prez bed. Charlie comes in and Georgia's like, oh, it's him. Charlie makes this huge thing of trying to speak to Georgia, who pays him dust. That's how you do it, Georgia. This is what I like about Georgia when I like Georgia. So Charlie is saying it's ridiculous. He's in a confessional. It's ridiculous how dramatic Georgia is being, not giving me any eye contact, not talking to me. So Shy and Charlie are walking in like they are that dudes. Shy, I don't know what you're doing. Somebody said, oh, Dumb and Dumber. Shy had the nerve to walk up to Riley. Riley looks at him, and then she kind of like looks at Charlie. Charlie's like, what did I do to you? What do I have going on where you're not talking to me? So he's claiming ignorance, everybody. In the confessional, they had the nerve to ask Riley, are you still good with Charlie? What's going on with you and Charlie? Riley looked at the producer and said, is that really a question? I love Riley's expression. Sometimes she looks just like Candy. She reminds me of Mama Joyce, like a younger, prettier Mama Joyce, but her expression, she's like, is that really a question? And production says, I guess I have my answer. Yes, I guess you do. Don't play with Riley. Charlie tried to make her experience terrible. And quiet as it's kept, he didn't feel Riley belonged. He didn't want her there until he found out her mother was rich and famous, and then she was okay. And then Shy is saying in a scene, I'm not trying to be funny or anything or insulting. I didn't know who you were. I didn't know who your mom were. Sure, that shouldn't matter. She embraced you. So Riley's taking all this in. Riley walks away. They follow her. He tries to hug her, and she's like, I don't like hugs. He said, is that a Riley thing, or is it a you thing? You don't like hugs? Charlie, she doesn't want you touching her because she doesn't trust you. She knows you don't have good intentions. She doesn't like you. And you stuck her with a $16,000 check. Remember, Charlie comes in with a group. He invites a bunch of girls to the table. He orders bottles, and he leaves right before the bills come. He did that to Riley. Candy found out because Candy watches her credit card, and she saw this $16,000 check at a club. So she says she doesn't want to hug him, and it's because they're not close. And Brooks is just straight up asking, when did you all become friends? To Shy and Charlie. Brooks is giving attitude that Charlie has not seen before. Shy's in a confessional saying Brooks is coming in hot, and everybody's saying, why is Charlie even here? Because Shy can't bring anybody anywhere. As I said, Dawson brought him in and then like dropped him. So it's like Dawson brought in a puppy and then moved out and left it. That's how they were literally referring to Shy, which is why I don't want Shy to put himself in a position to be used by the likes of Charlie. Because Shy, you can't do anything but serve as a fall guy for Charlie. So in the confessional, Charlie says, I'm kind of impressed with Brooks. He's kind of saying it with his chest. He's not making any sense. I haven't done anything to Brooks. But Brooks is protective of the girls because they're always protective of him. And Charlie, don't lie. You gave Riley hell. And you thought she's going to back down and kind of fold up in herself. And she didn't. Riley stood 10 toes down. And now she doesn't like you. And you're a deadbeat. So Riley says she's surprised that Shy's hanging out with Charlie because she don't F with Charlie. Charlie's asking, what did I do? Riley's not even gonna. She's like, okay, not my circus, not my clowns. And Shy's trying to be funny. What'd you say? Not my turkey? I thought you said something about turkey and Thanksgiving. And Riley says, okay, that's really funny. She walks away. So Gia comes in. She starts filling in. She went to where Riley was. They start talking about the drama. Somehow Shy and Charlie, they end up over there again. Brooks is saying, oh, no, not again. Gia's trying to say about the Ava thing. I gave her the apologies, but now I was thinking about it. I was up thinking about it, and now I don't know if I'm okay with that. So Gia doesn't know if she's going to retract her apology. Gia, go ahead and do it. This is a mess, but go ahead and do it. So she says she didn't bring it up to me until 1 a.m. She's coming up with all these ideas as to why she should retract the apology. They want to know if Rowan is followed or unfollowed all this group. Rowan says she has no idea. I think I like Rowan in this group. She's one of those people. She belongs. She has legacy, a pedigree, but she doesn't think she's better than anyone. And I think that's really important because I think Shy belongs here too. He's a young New Yorker and he has his shirt line. He's creative, but I don't want him to be a follower. So we find out that Charlie was friends with Ava, and they're calling him Tyler, but he's the boyfriend called Hook, Ava's boyfriend at the time. She's since broken up from. And Ava says, Charlie was really inappropriate with me. And I think a lot of this stuff, Ava found out after the season aired, and probably Damon put a bug in her ear, like, who's this kid talking crazy? Because we remember Charlie was, he was inappropriate with Ava a time or two as well. And Ava would laugh it off. So Ava says, I feel bad people are icing him out. I don't. I think Charlie has earned this icing out. But he's a person, like I said, he's like mold. He's going to keep popping up. Shy wants to meet Rowan. And he says, well, it's kind of rare that you get to meet someone that's new and fresh. He said, oh, that sounds kind of weird in the confessional. Shy, it did. He flies up in Rowan's face. Rowan sees what it is. It's like, nice to meet you. She lets it slide that she has a boyfriend. So then we get Ariana, Brooks, and Riley. They are in a circle talking. They say they're going to warn Hudson again. George Washington walks up and she said, oh, we talking about Charlie? He's bad news. Georgia starts going on about he stole my idea. He had met my ex 3 times and then they became best friends. He's investing with him. We see Charlie flashback from last season saying, oh, Omar and I were cool already. He asked me to raise money for him. So I don't believe you, Charlie. I think you met him through Georgia. And then once they broke up, you kept the boyfriend. So now he's saying, oh, I'm supposed to be stealing all these guys. Well, guys like Charlie better than they like their other friends. And then production shows us a chart whether or not the guys prefer Charlie. That was kind of strange. And then they also do a countdown of all the people that have issues with Charlie, because Charlie is insistent. I don't follow anyone, so I don't know what's going on. I'm chill with everybody, and he knows he's not chill. Brooks has an issue with him. Charlie talked up under Chloe's clothes last year and was disrespectful about it. Gia, I don't know that she has an issue with him, but Riley certainly does. And she's kind of upset that he's taking her friend shy, but like she said, not her clown, not her circus. And of course, Georgia has hot beef with Charlie. So Gia is saying, well, obviously he's going to be around. And I like what Riley said. Riley sounded like Mama Joy. She said, well, everybody have discernment. Try to tell him, Riley, give a little gentle warning, but don't harp on it. That's going to be their business. So George is saying that there's a lot about him that Omar doesn't even know. I do believe that. Charlie and Press are talking with other friends. George is like, what is he doing over there? And she says, she pulls him. She's like, that's my arch nemesis. Press doesn't understand. She said, Press is like a beacon of light. He's a ball of light. He's friends with everybody. And in her confessional, she says, Charlie is dark. He's dark. So in the confessional, Charlie is, of course, going to try to latch himself onto these younger people because they see him as somebody that they can follow. And then we end with Amira, Ava, and Riley introducing, this is a room curated from our wish list, our favorite things. They introduce themselves. I'm Ava Dash. I'm Amira. She's dressed like Dynasty again. Always overdressed in my opinion, but it's cute. I think it's funny. She says, and I'm Riley Barris, and the crowd went like, ah! So Riley clearly got the biggest applause. We know she wants to be a DJ. Also, she's in school to be an entertainment lawyer. So Riley, we are so proud of you. I love it. Charlie and Ariana are having a talk outside. And Ariana's like, I heard you've been hanging around with Hudson. And Charlie says Hudson's in Atlanta, but we're going to hang out when I get back. So he's just putting it right out there. Ariana says, well, we've been together a long time and he's still my friend. And Charlie's like, well, I know I've been in and out of long-term relationships as well. Charlie, you're lying. I don't think he's been in and out of long-term relationships at all. I think he was a garden tool through his 20s and he's trying to be that in his 30s. But y'all notice how he looked kind of like he's aging out a little bit. He's got his hair, fluffy and strategically messed up, but Charlie looks every bit of the 30 plus years. So he says, well, I understand what you guys are going through, breaking up and getting back together and then breaking up. I'll watch out for Hudson. I'll steal all the girls for him. So Ariana's kidding. Oh, don't let me find out that Charlie has a heart. Brooks, Shy, and somebody else are watching from across the street. Like, what are they talking about? Oh my God. So when they laugh and she says, Charlie has a heart, they end up hugging. Brooks and Shy are like, oh my God. So Brooks, don't you run tell that. This was just like a little nothing conversation, but I can see them bringing it back to Hudson like it's something. And Hudson is very protective over Ariana as she is over him, but nothing was really going on. So we get a confession with Ariana saying, deep down, I think he's a good person. And y'all, that was the end of the episode. I'm going to go through, read the rest of the comments, and then I'm going to slide in a few things on why I'm warning them against old Charlie. Oh, we have a few new people that came into the room while I was finishing up the review. Those of you that would like to, if you want to be team replay for the beginning, once the live is over, you'll get access to the hype feature, and I would love to have that. Thank you so much. Y'all, this is what Linda is speaking of, is a series called The OGs. It has Damon Dash. The affiliation to Next Gen NYC is that Damon Dash, of course, is Ava Dash's dad. So it comes on after something called American Trap Queens. I think I've seen episodes of that. Is that hosted by Remy Linda? AB is thanking her. And Pinky Cole's pregnant. She announced it on Instagram last night. Linda Gamble, we all know she had to because, big mouth Claudia Jordan spilled her tea. That's not tea. That's a medical condition. And Claudia, we're still not going to have you back. I don't mind Claudia, but I didn't really like her on the show. And I think that is trifling. So I forgot to mention that in an extra. AB says, why would she have another child right now? She said she wanted one. I don't know. Maybe it's unplanned. I think Pinky's getting ahead of something. Yeah, it could be that too. She needs to take care of her other business. Well, now her business is being a mama. So would this be 3 and 4 years? She had 3 and 3 years. Would this be 3 and 4? No, I think the 4th year's passed. So now we're speculating Pinky might be charged with federal charges, allegedly. We'll see. That's the new thing now. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Who said that? Who said that? Who said that? Good morning. Who said that? Thank you so much for joining during the live. This is Next Gen NYC Season 2, Episode 2, and this Bad Influence. And the bad influence is Charlie. I'm getting ready to get into a few extras on him. Everyone's saying good morning. I like Rowan so far. Yeah, she's a little bit quirky. I can see what Ariana meant. And Brooke Shields has that little quirk factor too. People didn't know it because she was a model for so many years. But mainly I know her as, of course, the Michael Jackson connection. And then suddenly Susan, she's been around for years. Linda says Charlie's out of place hanging with the younger adults. He is, because he's like that Pied Piper. It's not really good. Who said that is laughing? Brooks is definitely going to tell it. Yeah, American born, and he's going to tell it incorrectly. I can already tell because he was across the street. Thank you, CC. Great review. Breakdown. Thank you so much, CC. I appreciate your compliments. That means a lot to me. Brooks is going back to tell Charlie. He is, and Shy might get on the text and start texting. This episode was a 9 for me. Riley came back. I was going to give it an 8, but let me increase 1 point. I'll give them an 8 for having Riley in the building. Where's she at? In the building. Yes, niece, we need you every episode. I agree to Linda. And 9, love Riley. Yes, we love Riley. Riley did a great job. So y'all, I'm going to make sure that banner keeps running, because what I'm going to do is pull up the stuff on Charlie. And then I wanted to show everybody where Dalton is this season. So let me find this. There was a few things. Okay, there was a few things that I wanted to share. Now I cannot share like the video of it, because what they'll end up doing is they'll strike me if I do that. So I won't show that. But mainly what I'll end up showing is Hudson talking about the fact that he has not lent Charlie any money. And then we'll find Dalton's location and where he is now, see what he's up to. And then that will be a good place to end the live. And again, I thank all of you that have come in here. And if you would, please go ahead and click the like button. And then if you're team replay, if you would, I would appreciate you using the hype feature. Okay, let's see. All right, I said I was going to start out with Hudson, so I'll start out with Hudson. All right, there we are. And let me take this overlay down. Okay, this is let's see.
Off as their own, like
Play a lot of it.
Gross.
She was like, my creative vision. I was like, trust me, like they are not using your creative vision on this. Like I can guarantee you that.
Wiping my ass with her creative vision.
I don't want to go to either, so please do not invite me to either. I don't even care.
They tried to pitch me an idea for a club.
Okay, I can't play too much of that, everybody, but that they're going back and forth about her bowling alley club idea. Charlie is lying. This was Georgia's idea. Now, Riley, in fairness, she at the time didn't think it was a good idea and let Georgia know. And we see her say there, I wouldn't go to either one. Shy cannot guarantee, I promise it's not their idea. Shy, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. You're trying to get up under Charlie, and I don't like it. So this is Hudson telling his side of it.
Club that was called Club. And I even mentioned them. I was like, is this Georgia's club idea?
You officially like the name Club for the club?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But it's not. It wasn't a bowling alley.
Her original belief that it was taking her idea was fueled by the fact that Omar and his/my friends.
Charlie's lying. As we know, Charlie opening his mouth, he's lying. So we'll just get the key takeaways. This is from the Bravo site. Hudson and Charlie and Omar. He said that he was approached. They wanted $1 million, everybody, for this nightclub concept. Remember, everyone thought it was hilarious that Georgia's name was Club. Charlie's name for the club was Club. he didn't have it as a bowling alley, but he did incorporate a lot of George's ideas. For him to say he wiped his A with her creative vision, I don't believe you, Charlie. I think that's kind of trifling for him to have done that. But he said the idea of his investment fizzled out. He said, if you can provide some kind of this and that, some kind of business plan where you're trying to go with this, we'll talk about that further. Hudson recalled, but there was never any talk further. So there is Hudson, there is Charlie. Remember, there's a decade between these two men. And y'all, I was kind of concerned season 1, and Kim Zolciak was as well. And I didn't like what Bravo did. They showed where Hudson and Ariana were living. Hudson had his collection of jewelry out and watches and stuff. Why were they panning all over this boy's stuff? Basically casing the house. So Charlie, this right here, this is a grifter for real. And I do not want him around them. Now we'll go further down. Why is Ariana Bierman warning Hudson away from Charlie? She is his ex-girlfriend at that time. There's rumors they're back together, but we don't know. She's saying there's more of the backstory of Charlie approaching Hudson about money. During the Next Gen NYC episode, Charlie was reaching out to Hudson throughout the summer. They talk on the phone for an hour, and Hudson be like, this guy's effing crazy. I'm like, I know he's crazy. Be careful. So Charlie did ask him to invest in the club. And Hudson has admitted, yeah, he asked me to invest in the club. So I'm glad that Hudson at least did not do that. I don't think that's a good idea at all. And then I'm going to go back to the Charlie, what the issue that Charlie had going on. And then also they showed where Dalton is now, because Dalton now is no longer involved with the show. And thank you for your patience. I'm also going to read any comments. Oh, no, they didn't put this behind a paywall, everybody. Let me see. There's more places that have it than just that. One moment. Okay, thank you, everybody, for your patience. I appreciate that. All right, let me go through and read the comments first, because I still can't find that. But we've been having conversation over here in the comments, so I'll do that first and then go back. It is alleged that Charlie owes everyone money, allegedly. Linda Gamble, I believe that. AB says, I believe that. Yeah, I think that too. I saw that, but didn't watch it, so I'll go back. Yeah, it sounds like it's good. And who said that is responding to everyone that was saying good morning to her. Thank you so much for joining us during the live, sweet lady. Thank you for joining us during Next Gen NYC Live. When you came in, I'm trying to find this information on Charlie Zakor. I've warned these kids away from him. He is well over 30. He was 30 at the time when they first started filming this, and that was 2 to 3 years ago from season 1. And now we find out he is trying to get money for Club. We know that was George's idea, but it was a bowling alley. Yes, I'm glad Drew has a YouTube channel. Oh, does she? I didn't know that. I'll have to check that out. Everybody is welcome in, sweet lady. Charlie gained some weight from last season. They finally figured out why he looked different. Yeah, you can tell he has gained weight. He does look a little different, and he is also he's aging. He's getting older. What they call him? They called him a senior in the group. Something they called him. I found that pretty funny. So I'm sorry. I'm still here. Now this is. I at least want to show what Hudson did. Hudson ended up, not Hudson, Dalton. And he's no longer on the show, so I kind of liked him as one of the friends that were there. And he was another one of the kids that was like a regular kid. Okay, well, they're showing us Prez. Let's look at him. Prez, this is Georgia's boyfriend. He's a crypto adjacent New Yorker. And that's because he's trying to put together some kind of app. So good for him. But her ex, Georgia doesn't know how to pick him. Remember, her ex left her stranded in a foreign country. And that is the two of them there. All right, I think here would be where they have the updates. All right, here it is. Charlie Zakor faced alleged legal drama ahead of Next Gen NYC Season 2. There he is. That looks like a recent picture. He looks old there. And Amira spoke about it. Charlie had quite the interesting summer. Most people spend it in the Hamptons. Charlie almost spent it behind bars. And I was trying to find the actual picture. I had it in one of my extras from last season, and unfortunately, I'm not able to find it. Well, they said he uses a Coca-Cola. There's something else going on with him, American Born. I can't quite figure it out, but that is the last thing that Hudson needs, is to be around somebody like Charlie. I apologize for that, everybody. I'll have to move that to extras because I'm not able to find the update on Dalton, because I like Dalton on this show. I also like Shy on this show. I want to issue a strong warning to Shy. Shy, as I said, is going to be nothing but a fall guy if he starts hanging around with the likes of Charlie. What could happen for him is not going to be great at all. And I'm glad Ariana is there to kind of watch over Hudson. But again, this is a grown man with money roaming around not only New York City, but also Atlanta. So that's not going to be great. And I do like the fact that we see Riley with brand deals. Ariana also giving brand deals. So this is pretty good. And then I'm waiting for a sighting of Teresa Giudice, who we know had a good mix last season. And also of, okay, I just found Dylan, great. Also a sighting of Kim Zolciak, Candy Burris, and a few more things. All right, let's see. I can bring this up now. All right, there we are. Okay, where's Next Gen NYC's Dylan now? Dylan Geik inside his life today and after he left New York. All right, let's see. I can't play a lot of that, everybody. Let me see. We'll just read it. Let's see. And y'all are going to be surprised at how different he looks. Let me show you this. There he is. He looks like a mountain man. Shy revealed, and then Dylan left New York. Remember him? And I'm not sure, I'm not convinced that this doesn't have to do with Charlie basically outing him that he had an OnlyFans, and Seth like being so interested about it. I thought that was a little weird. I didn't love it. So it says, although Dylan has kept quiet about where he's located now, so yeah, he off the grid. He been busy posting about his travels on his social media. While he stayed mum on the details, he snapped pics everywhere from wooded areas and mountainous deserts to sandy beaches. And also remember, Dylan was pretty young as well. On June 21st, he shared a video, presumably taken in Ibiza, where he seemed to be enjoying the local shopping and nightlife. The self-proclaimed poet, artist, has also shared himself in front of artwork and in front of statues and landmarks across Italy while adding poetry to his Instagram posts. I'm glad to hear that because we remember Charlie was trying to sell him as some kind of OnlyFans kept pretty boy. And Charlie, that might be you. You're talking about how much the boys like you and stuff, if you were good looking enough. There's Dylan. That's how we remember Dylan last season. So look back at his time on Next Gen NYC. He opened up about his background during Next Gen NYC Season 1. He was born in Chicago, grew up very blue collar, and he practiced mixed martial arts before moving to wrestling, wrestled at collegiate level for Columbia in New York City. So that's how he ended up in New York. He quit due to injury. So it looks like he's doing all right. Charlie's lying. Dylan and I got along very well as roommates. I just think that the housing situation is problematic. We're in each other's space in this tiny, tiny little midtown-ish hole. So not true. Remember, it was a beautiful apartment, but it was nasty because Charlie never cleaned up and he would wait until the maid came to pick up everything. So he was labeled as a poet artist. He also describes himself as a digital entrepreneur. and shared the other way he makes money. So at the time he was on OnlyFans. So remember how he looked? He looked like this. So he was sharing these pictures and being kind of taken care of on OnlyFans. Well, let me go back so you can get that. That's Dylan then, and then let me show you him again now. This is such a huge change, everybody. Look at him. Wow. Wow, Dylan. Good morning, CDW. Welcome in. Thank you so much for joining the live. AB, Charlie parents asked him, was he still using the tree and powder sugar allegedly? Oh, Linda Gamble, I'm not shocked at that. Cece says, why aren't these wealthy kids being taught how to peep game? Cece, Hudson is like a little deer in headlights. Honestly, I was glad when Kim Zolciak said something to him, and I was hoping that would trigger something in his parents. But again, I don't know the conversations they've had with him. I hope something. AB said parents don't care enough. And Cece, AB said that Hudson's mom put hands and feet on somebody. So she's not that self-controlled either, allegedly. And in my opinion, CDW said good morning to everyone back. Thank you. Good morning, CDW. I appreciate that. So wow, y'all, Dylan got up out of there. He got tired of living with old nasty Charlie and got off of the grid. So he's out here traveling. He's in Ibiza. This episode earned a 9. Anyone that is not into Next Gen NYC, I recommend it. I recommend it highly. It's the kids. It is a lot of fun. The only thing I didn't find was the picture of Charlie. But again, we know that that had to do with a kidnapping situation where an Italian tourist was being held against his will in that condo. And Charlie was right outside, and his picture even ended up in the paper. So unfortunately, that was the only thing I was able to find. If I could, but at least I found Dylan. Yeah, that might go ahead and have to make it to an extra. Oh, well, wait a minute. There's a news story on here. Let's do that. They caught the guy. They showed the guy. So let me put this back up.
Eyewitness News reporter Lauren Glassberg is live in Gramercy with the latest. Good morning, Lauren.
Hey to you, Tanya, and to David. The suspect turned himself in just before 8 this morning, and as he was led out of the 13th precinct here in Gramercy, he did not say anything. He remained silent, even as media asked him questions about why he may have committed that crime. This all happened just a few minutes ago. Police identify him as William Duplessis. He allegedly works in the crypto business and is being accused of holding a man hostage and torturing him over a 2-week period until the victim escaped on Friday. The NY.
Y'all, they were holding this guy because you know how they have you have a password to your wallet. They couldn't access his crypto wallet, so they were holding him, trying to get that from him. And the big part of this case, that guy is not an American. He's Italian. He was a tourist.
PD already arrested a Swiss cryptocurrency investor, 37-year-old John Woltz. He was seen in a bathrobe when he was arrested, and he's being held without bail.
Look, y'all see in the background? Look at that with the blonde hair standing right behind the cop. See the guy in the bathrobe? That's Charlie. That's old poor Charlie. Hudson's parents. What are y'all doing?
The two suspects were living in a rented Soho brownstone where their alleged reign of terror took place. The 28-year-old victim is believed to be a former business partner, and the suspects allegedly lured him back to New York from Europe, held him hostage and tortured him, all to gain access to his crypto account.
I told you. I mean, just because I'm a smaller channel, I'm telling you, I have the news. I do a lot of reading. I already knew that. I saw that in New York Magazine. Did a video on it last summer. So Charlie, honestly, I didn't mind him back. I do like when they keep ensemble cast intact and they get a second season, especially for a new show. But Charlie, you could go ahead and go. You could get away from Hudson and them. And Shy, you a fool. Come on, I guarantee Charlie this, that. You can't guarantee nothing on that grown man. Terrible. Linda recognized him from the thing. Charlie, that's exactly who that was. Outside that man's apartment, was he in there torturing somebody? And what you doing in a robe, Mr. Nasty? What are you doing? Charlie was involved in that. I don't care what they say. American born. His dad, we saw with his dad sitting up there. He's a financier. He gives Charlie his little 10 or 20,000 a month to play around with his crypto and try to make money, but he really wants Charlie out of his hair. He really does. And the whole scenario is really dark, honestly. Charlie's going to be the next charge. Linda Gamble, he's got something going on, and I really would like this to say a young, fun show and get people that are as sinister as Charlie up out of here. Charlie, you can go. AB says he can't speak on it. I bet he's snitching on the others. Yeah, and the fact that they didn't take him in, they should have arrested everybody in the apartment. Charlie was standing out there free as a bird. But everybody that we saw what happened with Dalton, Dalton's gone. He probably know Charlie's bad news. He got him up out of there. And then we see Charlie lives to scam another day. Riley, don't put Candy's card down no more for him. And that was it, everybody. Season 2, episode 2, Bad Influence. And thank you all for joining me. And I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their July 10th and mind their Black-owned business or ally-owned business or whatever type business you own. I appreciate it. And have a great rest of your weekend. See some fireworks. And relax from this heat wave, everybody. Stay hydrated. Thank you. Thank you, American Born. I'll see you in the YouTube streets, everybody. Have a great day and a great weekend. Goodbye. Thank you. We'll leave Cece's comment up. Have a blessed weekend, everyone. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Sandra Peace, Gen Extra. Bye, everybody.
I don't think that he's good for you.
How do you know what's good for me?
That's my opinion!
Don't you get it? Why can't anybody have an opinion but you?
That I don't think that he's good. That I